20 3/4. The scale says 133.6. Okay, so I feel like now that I'm exercising more, my body is burning off. Fattening food more efficiently. And I'm feeling good, eating fruit. This is going to be my breakfast this morning. My neighbor has a kefir pear tree, and I asked him, a large portion of the tree hangs over in my yard, over the fence. So I asked him if I climb up and pick some pears, can I have some? And he said yes. I don't think he even eats them or ever picks them. So I'm actually not sure if these are completely ripe yet. I don't know if they're supposed to turn yellow, or I have to do more research, but I noticed them falling off the tree and onto the ground, so I thought I would just pick the largest ones. These are the largest ones that I saw so far. So I picked 4 of them, and they're really good. Right off the branch. There's nothing better. Because right after you pick fruit, the nutrient content starts to decrease after you pick it off of its parent tree. Really juicy. Fruit contains the most water when it's still on the plant. After you pick it, it starts to dry out. So I never throw away my food scraps. I always throw them out into the yard so they can decompose into the soil and help maintain healthy soil. If you think about it, the soil of this planet is being leached of nutrients and fortified with toxins. That's basically what's happening on the planet. People generally don't throw away their food scraps out into the yard. They throw them in the trash and they end up in a landfill. But this is what keeps the soil nutrient rich, by decomposing organic matter back into the soil, letting it become rich with nitrogen and phosphorus and all the other nutrients that make a healthy soil for plants to grow in. And a healthy soil means more nutritious fruit. Like I said before, don't be afraid to eat 3 or 4 pieces of fruit in a row for breakfast. You don't have to have 1 piece of fruit and then a big old bowl of cereal. Cereal is fattening. Cereal is very fattening. Cereal is a processed grain. Or yogurt. Yogurt is made from cow milk, and anything made from cow milk is fattening. It does not matter if it's fat-free. In fact, I think fat-free is also devoid of all the nutrients, because I think when they scrape off the fat, they're also scraping out all the nutrients. So they have to refortify the cow milk with artificial nutrients. So high fat, low fat, doesn't matter, it's still fattening, because your body does not recognize it as a natural food that's meant to be eaten by a human, because it's made from cow milk. So that being said, I do not believe human milk is fattening for humans, because it's made for humans. It'll make a newborn baby grow larger, but I don't think drinking human milk would put excess weight on a person, because the milk is specifically formulated for humans to drink. The body recognizes it, it knows what to do with it, and it actually can use it. When the body is given something it cannot process, cannot do anything with, it just stores it as fat. Because it also thinks it's being starved, like I mentioned in a previous video. You can eat and eat and eat all day long, but if all you're eating is junk food, you're not giving your body any nutrients, and your body thinks it's starving, so it's going to bulk out. So here's my second here. And another thing I wanted to mention in this video is, after I changed my diet and started creating a new lifestyle, exercising more, I realized that it's wrong to completely rely on doctors and nutritionists and dietitians to be the smart ones about health. You really need to take your health into your own hands. There's a wealth of information available to the public for people to read about food and nutrition and disease, what causes disease. And if you just take all of these puzzle pieces that are out there floating around and put the puzzle together, it'll create a big picture for you, big eye-opening picture. So that's what I did when I went vegan. After I went vegan, I've been vegan a little over 1.5 years. In October it'll be 2 years. So I'm fairly new. I haven't not been vegan that long. After I went vegan, I had 1 trillion questions. I was so dumbfounded by this concept of not slaughtering and eating animals. I was just blown away by it. So I had 1 million questions. I would jot down all my questions. I would literally stay up night after night, all night long, reading and reading and reading, getting answers to all my questions. And the more I researched, the bigger and clearer the picture became. Animal products are not healthy. Fruits and vegetables are healthy. Well, fruits, I definitely know are healthy. Vegetables, I think, are healthy too, but I just, fruits are great. So I started finding out all of these very elementary things that really everyone should know. Everyone should know that animal products contain no fiber whatsoever, no dietary fiber. I never knew that. And hopefully any doctor will tell you that dietary fiber is absolutely essential for a clean, healthy body, disease-free body, a thin body. Fiber, you need fiber. Now, there's always exceptions. I know some people who are super duper 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 skinny and eat fattening food. They eat animal products. They eat processed foods. But again, everyone is different. But generally, animal products are fattening. Generally, dairy is fattening for everybody. And another thing I found out that I did not know was only animal products contain cholesterol. So fiber, good. Cholesterol, bad. Only animal products contain cholesterol, and only plant foods contain fiber. I mean, it's just like, duh. You know, and a lot of people don't know that. I never knew that. What is bad for the arteries? Cholesterol, inflammation, acidic food. Animal products and processed food is under that category. What cleans your body and makes it healthy? Fiber, high nutrients, water, phytochemicals, all of the things that fruits and vegetables have. So it's like if you just make a simple 2-column, graph, animal products, processed foods, fruits and vegetables, well, animal products, and start listing all of these things that harm the body, they will be under animal products. If you start listing all the things that are good for the body and help the body, they will be under fruits and vegetables. Uric acid, lots of uric acid is created with animal products. There's a lot of medical reports saying animal protein is not healthy. Again, there's conflicting information about that. But generally, why is cannibalism unhealthy? Cannibalism has been said to be unhealthy, eating other people. And I think cannibalism equates with eating animals, because there's really no difference. You're eating muscle tissue. If someone laid a charred, cooked rack of ribs in front of you, how would you know if it's a pair of human ribs, a pair of goat ribs, a pair of pig ribs, saying maybe it was a large pig? How can you tell the difference between unless you are into anthropology and excavating remains or something, or bone doctor or something, and you clearly have a lot of knowledge about the subject. But if you're just a regular Joe off the street, how are you going to tell the difference between a pig's ribs and a human rib? There's really no difference. It's all bones covered in muscle, covered in blood. Eating animals is cannibalism, as far as I'm concerned. And cannibalism has been shown to be unhealthy. That's a very drastic point of view, and I've had people attack me for saying that, but I still believe it's true. Eating animals is a form of cannibalism. There's no blood or muscle tissue or skin in here. So, don't just rely on doctors to be the knowledgeable ones, or dietitians. From what I have observed, a large majority of doctors and dietitians and nutritionists are obese themselves. I would not take weight loss advice from a big obese woman or man. If they knew how to get thin, they would be thin. If they knew how to eat right, they would be thin. Lots of doctors are obese. Lots of doctors recommend eating steak and beef. And an increasing body of evidence is showing that beef is not healthy. And so just, it's so important that you take your health into your own hands, research for yourself. There's plenty of information available to discover on your own what is healthy, what affects the body in a harmful way. And just take the initiative to be smart yourself. Don't just say, well, doctors are the smart ones. They're the ones that are supposed to know. That kind of thinking may get you in trouble. So there is a growing group of doctors that do recommend a plant-based diet. That number is growing. But even historical evidence has shown, I believe Dr. Spock once mentioned in a book that children, young children, should not eat animal products. And he's been around for a while. So you have to really take your health and knowledge into your own hands, and don't just rely on these medical professionals to know what they're talking about, because a lot of them don't. And you're not going to know yourself until you discover, until word of mouth gets around. I became vegan from a very good friend going vegetarian and then suggesting that I stop eating meat. And he sent me an article. I read the article and was completely convinced. And from that day, I stopped eating meat. It took me about 2 months to wean off dairy, because I did not know a lot of things about dairy that I know now. I did not know that dairy cows suffer a tremendous amount of abuse in the dairy industry. I did not know that dairy cows are routinely artificially inseminated to get them pregnant. Dairy cows are basically female cows. This is another thing that I did not know any of this before I went vegan. Dairy cows are female cows, logically, because only female cows produce milk. I never thought of that. So they herd all these female cows onto a factory. They line them up and hook them up to milking machines, basically a big metal sucking device. They wire it onto the udder, teat, whatever you call it, and it sucks the milk out of them. And they are routinely artificially inseminated to get them pregnant because they only produce milk when they are pregnant, carrying a calf, or after they give birth to the calf. So they keep these cows pregnant to produce milk, and then they take the milk away. They don't even let the calf drink any of this milk. It's like getting a woman pregnant, like laying a woman out on a table, artificially inseminating her, getting her pregnant, allowing her to produce milk, and then after she gives birth to her baby, they take the baby away and they suck all of the milk out of the mother. So the baby gets none of this milk. The mother's milk is the healthiest thing a newborn baby can drink. It's the healthiest thing that's what nature wants the baby to drink. They take this baby calf away and they sell it to a veal auction house to be slaughtered for veal as a little baby. And they feed it a diet of garbage instead of letting it drink from the mother, because they want to save the mother's milk for the market, for humans to make into ice cream and cheese and all kinds of fattening, unhealthy things that make people fat and diseased and get diabetes and cancer and everything else that obesity causes, high blood pressure, high blood sugar. So it's just this insanity. It's this insane industry. And then, after these dairy cows are used for milk and they're no longer producing milk efficiently at a good cost, they are sent to be slaughtered for beef. So I did not know any of this. I thought, well, we're just milking cows. How can milking a cow hurt a cow? We're not hurting cows. These cows are suffering greatly. All for unhealthy dairy products. A lot of people do not know that dairy cows are sent to be slaughtered after these farmers, they cannot house and feed all these animals for life. So when they're no longer producing a profit, they're shipped off to be slaughtered. And they're little baby newborn calves, all the male calves. Oh, by the way, that only happens to the male calves. The female calves they keep. They don't slaughter female calves for veal generally, because female cows can be used to produce milk in the future. Male calves do not produce milk, so they are basically rendered useless. So after they are born on these dairy farms, from these artificial inseminations, they are taken away from their mothers, like the day they're born, the day after they're born, put in a veal crate and auctioned off to be slaughtered for veal. A little tiny baby. It's like I said before, it's like getting a woman pregnant, taking her baby away. If it's a male, slaughtering it immediately. If it's a female, shipping her off to, be trained to be a dairy cow in the future. And the mother is left there. Can you imagine right after you carry a baby for months and months and then give birth to it, having someone take it away from you and not even being able to bond with it or nurture it or raise it? Can you imagine? And having someone wire a machine to you and suck out all your milk so they can sell it for cheese and ice cream and pizza topping. That just makes people fat and unhealthy. So, that's my rant about dairy. Gets me worked up just talking about it. And it makes me feel so guilty because I never knew, I never even bothered to find out. And I supported that industry for so long. So don't rely on doctors to be the smart ones. You be the smart one about your own health. And knowledge also makes you feel more empowered, raises your mentality. So read.